Hello, hello, welcome back. My name is Chrissy, and today I am racing the storm again. Story of my life. I'm going to show you today just a kind of a random example of what I eat in a day on Whole30. Several people have been asking about what I eat on Whole30, so I decided to turn it into a little video for you, and I will show you just on this random day what I ate for breakfast, some snacks, and lunch and dinner. So after I finished my morning chores in the garden, I wandered around and picked some radishes, and I did a little bit more watering and picked some other things that I thought I might like to enjoy with my brekkie. This is a pretty normal routine for me, is to wander through the garden, pick a few things. I love rocket, which is arugula, and radishes, and sometimes I do some Swiss chard or silver beet, but I really just like rocket and radishes with my eggs. This is not going to last long. This coriander has shot up, but you can see already it is trying to bolt. It's supposed to be a slow bolt one, but I mean, maybe not slow bolt in Texas. I love a bit of coriander on top of eggs as well. It just adds a nice little pop. So I took all that inside, fried it up. The zucchinis were out of the garden as well, but I'd picked them the day before, and put them on a plate and drizzled a little bit of homemade mayo over the top. It was delish. The other thing I do once or twice on a normal average day is make a bulletproof coffee, which is pretty much Whole30 friendly. I am using butter instead of ghee because of just the price of it. And I have done a video on this before of how I make it, but it's basically just a shot of espresso coffee, and then butter and a bit of MCT oil and vanilla essence, and zhuzh it up with an immersion blender, and whammo, there's your yummy coffee. Okay, a favorite snack of mine on this Whole30 is to put almond butter on segments of apple. And we often do this as a family with peanut butter, but you can't have peanuts on Whole30, but you can have almonds. And then next to that is a mint tea that I made. Beautiful, delicious mint out of the garden, bit of lemon juice, and honey. I've only added the honey after the first 30 days. I didn't have any during that first bit. Okay, lunch on this particular day was leftovers from the night before when I made an Indian curry, a chicken Indian curry. I made it with dairy for the rest of the family, but mine I kept aside separate and just put coconut milk instead of adding the yogurt and the cream cheese and other dairy ingredients. It was so yummy. Even without the dairy, it was delicious. So I was about to plant out this little loofah gourd. I had 2 sprouts, and I'm feeling very sad because look what I found. Something, I think, has eaten this one, and I don't even know if this one is connected fully still. It looks like it's barely holding on. So I'm going to plant it and pray, because I would be very sad at this point to lose this little baby. So we'll see. I'm going to weed out this patch. I'm pulling out where this was a parsley that went to seed, and I'll put it in here. Stuff is everywhere. All right. We will see how we go. Dear Lord, please bless my little baby Lufa. May he grow strong and healthy. Oh my goodness. This mess has maple written all over it. I bet you she jumped up there. That naughty kitty cat. Okay, I'm gonna grab an onion. Now these are almost gone, so I like fully to seed. So I'm just gonna see if there's any left that I can take. I'm not actually sure. Let's have a look. Anything that's still edible, because they sort of go really hard. Okay, I was able to just pull off enough that I'll clean this up and be able to use that. Just gonna see if there's any beans in here that I can get. There's one. There's not many at the moment because we took a bunch off here this morning. There's a little one. Oh, there's one. There you are. Okay, just a few beans. It's a little slim pickings. But what I have been doing is just going out into the garden, just seeing what's ready that I can harvest. Can you hear the thunder? It's another spring storm on the way. The ground was just starting to dry out. Okay, let's see. Maybe some silver beet, otherwise known as Swiss chard. Okay, so I'm just going to get a bit of this. Aren't they pretty? They're so pretty, this one with the red through it. Just gorgeous. Sometimes I get rocket or arugula, but I actually really love to eat this with my eggs in the morning with a radish or two, which I might see if there's some radish. Here's some more Swiss chard. Okay, just gonna see if there's any radishes that are ready. These are those white ones. Yeah, that one. Let's see. Oh, there's another one that's ready. And here, a little radish. Okay, this is a lemon squash. I've got some of these I picked inside earlier today. And look at them, they are so cute. Oh, that one's nearly ready. But they are just adorable. They are so cute and so fun, that totally different shape. All right, this is a hodgepodge of bounty that I haven't taken the time to arrange it all fancy, but it's still good food. So we will take that inside and see what culinary delights we can come up with. So basically I just did a stir fry of all those veggies with some of the garlic we pulled out last week, and my husband made these meat patties, which were basically just ground beef or minced meat and eggs and spices, and they were so yummy. And then it kind of looks funny, but I put mayo on top, and I love a bit of mayo with meat and veggies or with eggs. I think it just sets it off. Okay, so another one of my favorite little snacks that I've been doing on Whole30 is a quick little bar that I make, or a slice. In Australia we'd call it a slice. It originated as bliss balls. I don't know if you know the recipe for bliss balls, but it's basically just nuts and seeds, and like you can put a lot of different things in it, and you bind it together with either dates that are all ground up, and also something like coconut oil to bind it. But so it's just really nuts, seeds, coconut oil, and dates. You can put other dried fruits in it. I have to be a little bit careful with dates. I can have them, but if I have too much in a day, I will get sort of like a crampy belly ache. And I think it's just because they're so high in sugars. But I love them, and they're really nice as a way to have something sweet when you're doing Whole30. That and fruit are the sort of things that I have for snacking on. And so I'm going to show you really quick how I make this little bliss bar slice. Okay, so I have almonds, walnuts, and you could use any nuts really, that's just what I have, coconut oil, and medjool dates. So that's all the ingredients. I will maybe put a pinch of salt, and sometimes I put like a dash of vanilla essence, but I don't always do that. It's not necessary. I'm going to add them all into this food processor, stick it on pulse a few times, and then mix it up really good. Oh, sorry, there is one more ingredient I forgot. The other ingredient is cocoa. Now these medjool dates do have pits in them, so you just got to sort of break them apart and take the seed out before you put them in. So I don't really measure again in this recipe. So there's 5 dates in there. They are pretty big, and really you might want more, you might want less, just according to your taste. So then I'm going to shake in some almonds. Just being conscious of not overloading my food processor beyond its capacity. Shake in some walnuts. And I'm just going to grind that on its own first, and then I'll add the other 2 ingredients. The more you grind them, and blend them, the dates have all been chopped up, but also the more you grind the nuts, they will start to release their own oils that are in them. So you want to grind it a good amount, but not until it's really pasty or they go super sticky. So I don't know, like it's starting to stick a little bit. I might do it a couple more seconds. Just going to scrape down the sides a little. Give it one more hit. Just going to add about, I don't know, 3-4 teaspoons of cocoa or cacao. This is cacao, I believe, which is just the raw form. Either works though. And then the coconut oil, probably about a couple of tablespoons, and then we'll see. It's kind of hitting the cupboard door. So you can see it's kind of rolling together. It's starting to stick. So if you take a piece out, it will hold together in a shape. And that's sort of what you're looking for, that it will hold form a little bit like that. If it was still really crumbly, I would add more coconut oil. And if it was not holding form, it was too sloppy, then you'd have to add more nuts or seeds. The other good thing about this is you can literally put whatever you want in it. I have done chia seeds before. I've done it with flax seeds, both chia seeds and flax seeds. I will warn you, get stuck in your teeth really bad, but they taste great and they're very good in it. Any kind of nut that you have, pepitas are nice in it. Yeah, like you can really just choose your own adventure when it comes to this. And as long as you have, and again, it's according to your taste a little bit as well. I just tend to make it with what I have on hand. And I do like it with the pepitas in. I have used sultanas or raisins before when I didn't have dates, and you definitely can do that. They have a bit more of a kind of a tangy, I guess, flavor. But yeah, just use whatever you've got and whatever works. So I'm going to put that into a pan and shape it in the fridge. Okay, so we're going to tip that into here. Take these blades out, make life easier. Just going to press it down into, make it flat, and you can make it as thick or as thin as you like. This is probably, I could put this in a bigger pan, but I like, or a bigger dish, and make it thinner, but I like this one because it has a lid, a plastic lid. So I'm going to make it slightly thicker, and then I'll just cut the slices smaller. I'm going to press it down into a rectangle just to fit the pan. So you could do this in probably a pan twice this size and make it quite thin. But I'm just doing it according to the size of the pans that I have. And then we'll pop that in the fridge and it will set like that. It'll set, and then I'll cut it into slices. Okay, so this has been setting for a while, and I'm just going to cut it and cut a piece out and see. You kind of just continue cutting it into strips like that, and then like that, like so. Okay, so I'll cut it into a little square. So it's just like a little square slice that is a really nice little snack when you're on, well, it's not, I mean, I used to make these a lot when we were on a gluten-free diet, but it's also great for Whole30. Yummy, nutritious, and very easy. Okay, so that is my random day on Whole30. Of course, it varies every day what I eat, and you can go into this whole meal planning thing. I just wanted to keep it really simple. So fresh fruit, veggies, meat, herbs and spices, and trying to really just stick to that and do what is the most simple basic thing I could do was my plan. And also tweaking sometimes some of the recipes to suit me. If my family was eating dairy, for example, with the curry, I made mine just with coconut milk. I just sort of separate a little bit and put that aside so that I can continue on with their meal prep of whatever they are having. So yeah, let me know have any of you been doing Whole30, and if you have, if you've got any good ideas or things that you love to eat when you're doing it, share in the comments below, because you never know, it might really just help someone else out. All right, well, thanks for being here. I hope it was helpful for some of you or all of you, and I will see you again really soon. Sunshine and raindrops. Until then.